Namaste. Last session, that means last 2, 3 sessions, what we have done is just prologue. That means the roots of judicial administration in Veda and also other smritis, how it is, and the difference between aparadha and papa and prayaschitta. All these are discussed. Today, I am directly entering into the judicial system, which is known as Dharmasthiyam in Kautilya's Arthashastra. I am just going to the text because entirely, as we know, the subject itself is technical and the terms also in Kautilya's Arthashastra are very unique, a little complicated also. So that is the reason. Just first of all, we'll take the help of a great scholar's translation, that is R.P. Kangle's Arthashastra translation, volume 2, which really explains us. That means he is a teacher to us. He explains what is Arthashastra and what are the views of Kautilya in very clear terms. So that today we are going to start. And the system is, first he explains. See, now we have different, village head will be there. All these are discussed in our administration part. Village head is there. Village head will take care of that. And also Dronamukha, Sthaniya, etc. Some center points, headquarters that we had a discussion earlier. Here, the simply directly the judicial system is explained. That means that Raja, where the king decides the Vyavahara means actually legal matters. In fact, Vyavahara, we just take as local affairs. But Vyavahara is a technical term in Sanskrit literature. In Smritis and Arthashastra and other Shastras also, it is understood. It is taken as judicial procedure. Judicial matter. Vyavahara is judicial matter, that which is to be discussed, which is to be decided. So here, Raja and Mantri sitting, this is not really, the scene is not described. Nowhere Kautilya mentions king in the company of the judges, he doesn't say. Actually, now an independent judicial system, how it is there. Any matter, because for each matter, particularly when that it is somewhere, a village, different places, king every time he cannot go. Only final day, final decision, complicated only, they used to take to the king. But everything will be noted. The notice will go to king, all the matters are really in the knowledge of king. The small matters won't go, very big matters only. So here we cannot compare totally with folk literature, dramas or something. But this is a judicial system. Here, Raja, Mantri, etc. Now we are not going to that. How the legal system works. This much only here we have to uh, see how it is presented. First of all, already the qualifications of judges that repeatedly I am mentioning, that is there in the same series. Series means my lectures only, who are appointed as judges, who are appointed judges in the civil courts and the judges in the criminal courts, etc. Let me criminal cases. All this is discussed. Still, okay, just, for information, I'll again repeat it. Actually, there are four tests. Um, Almost, first of all, the preliminary quali- qualification, prelims, we say, in a civils, when people write IAS, IPS, etc., when they write for the exams, there are some stipulated syllabus, everything that will be their system. And as all of you are aware, civils means that is preparing for IAS is not an ordinary job, an easy job, because they are thorough with so many things. They choose one elective, one optional subject, but other all almost just entire general knowledge. Now we know how much coaching they take, how much general knowledge they require. So lot of efforts, lot of intelligence. Now, not only simply by hearting, etc., but intelligence. They only really reach the status of IAS, the next again selection, IPS, etc., etc. This is the system in modern India. I have been telling that there are glimpses of this olden system in modern administration also. That is the reason here also Kautilya mentions how should we select the ministerial candidates. Some places Amatya Niyukti is a chapter in Kautilya's Arthashastra in which all the ministers and all the administrative officers selection takes place. The procedure, actually, the selection procedure of ministers, secretaries, and almost all heads of the departments. Therefore, what they do, there is a very big list. I'm not giving because a native, etc. So many qualities are there, and that, as I told you, same. Um, my name, Dr. P. Shashirekha. My lectures, they are there. Particularly, this occurs in a Unmilanam, that is Telugu. It is explained in Telugu. Part 1. Now, part 2 is in English. Part 1 I have done in Telugu, particularly. And part 2 onwards, that is administration topics and also judicial, I have chosen to discuss in English so that it reaches non-Telugus also. With that intention, suddenly I switched over to English because this is a very important matter. Administration, and selection, etc. Of course, it is also important. But first, I thought, okay, let me share with Telugu people. Later, immediately, I thought lifetime is so less. So let me start in English only so that it may benefit non-Telugu people also. Therefore, in the administrative process, that means in first adhikarana only, all the complete appointments are made in the sense that they are already told. How should be the king, how should be the prime minister, or what we say, one is a countrywide prime minister, statewide the chief minister. There, but yeah, as we know, Pradhana Mantri and Mantri we say. Then again, Amatya we say. Similarly, there, Mantri is, a little bit, what we have to say, superior to remaining ministers. In Kautilya's Arthashastra also. That is the reason Mantri appointment, Purohita means actually royal chief advisor, we have to say. Purahitaha, that means one who precedes in all the affairs, all the undertakings, and all the whatever king wants to attend the programs. At first, he has to take the advice, the lead of Purohita, that is there. Beautiful administrative system is described in that. Okay. And then Amatya Niyukti is there. So that Amatya Niyukti, completely so many. That means, as we know, very big, like, MLAs or something. But the system is different because In present system, let us talk in present system, the educational qualifications are not mandatory. Any person can become a less literate also can become a minister. That way it is allowed in modern, because this is a democracy. It is not monarchy, it is democracy. So only native born, etc. But those days, how it was means, all are amatya sampadopetaha means amatya sampat. The qualifications for a ministerial candidate are explained in that, and those who are having those qualifications are eligible for the to appear before this interview. Written system is not mentioned. Written system, etc., not mentioned. Any pariksha is not mentioned in a Kautilya Shastra, but already mentioned qualification. They mention. Then what they do is, all the ministry, this amatya sampadopeta, that means who are endowed with the qualities of the minister, all are really called for interview. What we say, like, mass interview, all are called. And there are four secret tests. Secret test, for example, only a model. For every test, a model Kautilya explains, but the model has to be changed and can be changed time to time. That also mentioned by Kautilya. These are just to have an idea, but of course, it all depends upon the circumstances. Now, coming to the tests in a simple manner, there are four tests I told you. One is Dharmopadha. Number two is Arthopadha. Number three is Kamopadha. Number four is Bhayopadha. So, Dharma, Artha, Kama are known terms to us. Bhaya is the last one. I'll tell how it is. Here, Dharmopadha test means actually his upright character, his loyalty, the qualifications, etc. Okay. But his nature, whether he is loyal or not, upright or not, all these are tested. That again, that I am not going to discuss it here. That is a beautiful, a long procedure also. Uh, Testing his character in a secret manner. Secret manner means what they do actually is called, and then somebody will come, and someone will come and lure him, and yeah, you do this, you do this, for all wrong things. If he is tempted, because he poses himself, this is all done by intelligence people. He poses himself, the person, like a royal, like, VIP. Very influential person in royal court. And then he lures him to do a wrong thing. Uh, if that person who came for that Amatya post accepts and joins hands with him, then that's all, test is done, and he is eliminated. The process, eliminating process. And then Arthopadha, that is whether he is corrupt or non-corrupt, how he deals with the financial matters. This is tested, again the same. A person in disguise comes and offers money, etc. Tests him. If he doesn't accept to all these offerings, etc., then he is selected. Otherwise, he'll eliminated. Okay. And third one is most important. That is Kamopadha. Whether he is, how he is. He has weakness in the case of women, etc., women affairs. That will be tested. Again, the same procedure, like, luring him, like somebody is asking you, this lady is very influential, she wants to help you, etc., like this. This, this is, all um, with the complete, that is not real, but they can frame a beautiful story, etc. And that way they lure him, they tempt him. If he is not tempted, then he is out of danger. Otherwise, he is eliminated. So, dharma, artha, kama. Bhaya is regarding his bravery, his dareness. That is the reason Bhayopada. That whether he is ready to face risk and also ready to rescue the king even in cases of emergency, like going on a trip, going on a journey. So then suddenly king falls into the water or anything, he is ready to jump into water to save him. Such tests will be conducted. If he is somebody is coming to attack king and this fellow runs himself away, then how can he put? And after this procedure, selection procedure is over, secret test is over, and here they say actually those who are proved loyal should be appointed in the affairs like dharma karyas, and also like Artha who asked with that, then they will be appointed as financial matters, and similarly women in the welfare. This way it goes on. So, and those really who get through all the four tests are to be appointed as judges in the courts because it is so important. They are judges means simply we take in a lighter vein, but it is not that way. They are intelligent. They understand the human psychology. They understand the criminal psychology, and they we should have compassion, etc., etc. They should not have this like kama, krodha, lobha, moha, etc. We say they should not get tempted by anything, any type of offering, etc. So that is the reason it's the most important thing that the appointment of judges is also very beautiful and decent matter discussed in Arthashastra. So such great persons who are appointed as judges, that means to the place of judges, and we know the how the judges again become chief judges, etc. We know. So the judges, what they do, here also three-membered jury is mentioned. I am directly coming to the topic discussion. Three-membered jury should be there, and they should discuss the matters and how the matters means what, legal matters, how they should be discussed. And desha kala patra, that means actually there are restrictions. I think all this might be in our modern law also because I have not done modern law, because there are certain rules, that means which are to be discussed, how, at what place, at what time, and in what manner, and who are eligible to discuss those matters. All this is given in the beginning only in Kautilya's Arthashastra. So how that this chapter begins, let us see in Sanskrit term. Later on, I don't burden you with a load of total Sanskrit words. A little I touch, and then the matter. Because in administration, all are not much technical. There is also technicality in the subject, but at least some familiar terms are there because which we know day to day life. But here, this judicial system we do not know. That is the reason, even the technical terms also. But as and when required, I just attach them. Here, first sentence, he says, the chapter name is Dharmasthiyam. That means judicial. This actually they say concerning judges. That means belonging to judges, means the affairs of the duties of judges. Dharmasthaha trayah trayo amatyaha janpada sandhi sangrahana dronamukha sthaniyeshu vyavaharikan arthan kuryuho. So, how really the procedure who are supposed to take all these cases? Three judges, Dharmasthaha, three judges, and three Trayaha Amatyaha. Traya Amatyaha means, Kangleji translates so nicely, three of the rank of ministers. As I told you, Amatya Sampadopetaha. So, three who are in the rank of ministers should try cases. Try, say, trial. Because court to the matter, I told you technical terms, Vyavaharan Kuryu, he says. So, that means actually trial. That's all whatever technicality is there, technical words are used by Kangle. Should try cases. How means arising out of transactions at, he has told Janapada Sandhi. Janapada Sandhi means, when Janapada means that estate establishment. Sandhi means actually borders. So that means state, and also border. That's why he has frontier posts. They should, which come, that means actually border disputes, we say, no? Border areas. So that Janapada Sandhi, that is in the Sangrahana. Sangrahana is again, a place, how much, what is called Sangrahana? It is, actually, I told that is a headquarter. Headquarter means like, capital for, now we have mandala system, taluka system, district system. It is there. Those days also, as we are saying, district, taluka, etc. Those days, the division was made. So 10 villages center place is called Sangrahana. And then 400, 400 villages means almost like, in a big country, it is almost like a state, like a present Hyderabad state or anything, because very big place. Because district is again not that much, but state means like, 400 villages. That means the central place of 400 villages is called Drona Mukha, a technical term. And also similarly, 800 villages. 800 villages central place is called, that is Thaniya. Probably we can take like a district. One is, like taluka, like 10 villages. Then we may go for district, small villages, 400 villages. And when to just, compare with modern administration, then 800 villages means like a state or something. Okay. So this division, this union. Anyhow, these cases, they should think. And also what they say, how the transactions should be done. Here, he has mentioned certain conditions. This is most important. Even now, of course, it is there. If a case comes to the court, and of course, advocates, what we say, defense lawyers are different, public prosecutors are different. They fight the entire argument because persons, everyone is not that capable to argue their cases. Okay, that is the reason. Definitely, they appoint, here lawyers also comes. Vakta, adhivakta, pradvivak, all the terms come later on. So that comes in a different chapter. In this only, judicial administration only. First, the He is telling about the matters. What are the legal matters? So, the persons, that means whose case is discussed, whose case is filed, that person should be present. In the absence, nothing should be discussed. That means he is not available, he has not come. So we are finalizing the case. This system is not accepted. That is the reason he says, actually, in absence, that case should not be dealt with. If at all such transaction is there, it is considered as invalid. If even if they discuss and do, that is, simply set aside because it is invalid. It is considered as invalid. This absence is called actually tirohita. Tirohita. Now there are two terms. I told you all technical terms. Puraha means in front. Tiras means backside. That means actually, puraskara, the term. Puraskara means actually giving importance. That is the reason Puraskara. Puraskara Pradhanam, etc. means considering as high, giving a prominent place, etc. Tiraskara is, that is insult or neglect, etc. That is, Tiras means setting aside. That is the reason here, this in the absence translated as Tirohita, not translated by Kautilya, but the term is Tirohita. That means when the person is not available, when the person is absent. I read the Sanskrit terms also, very interesting, and but each one to be translated. Tirohita and antara, antaragara and nakta, aranya, upadhi, upahvara krutascha vyavaharan प्रतिषेधयेयुः कर्तुः कारयितश्च पूर्वः सहस्रदण्डः श्रोतॄणाम् एकैकं प्रति अर्धदण्डः श्रद्धेयानां तु द्रव्यव्यपनयः. So here what he is talking is, in the absence of that particular person whose case is to be discussed, and also in the house. For example, judges, in a building, they simply sit there, not in official place. In the house means what? Not in the office. So in a private place, if it is discussed, it is invalid because any matter officially means in the office, in the prescribed office, because it has got all whatever protocol items, whatever are there, they are available there. The systematic procedure, as we know, recording, etc. All this is there in ancient system also. And also night. Night cases are not to be taken. Of course, again, there are exceptions. When the cases can be discussed, transactions can be done during night, that again he gives exception. That we'll see later. He only tells us later on. And then in the forest. Forest means also a remote area. Nobody will be there. Now we can say farmhouse. Farmhouse is nothing but a farmhouse. Its name is, it is a farm. In the farm, a house. In the so many affairs nowadays are discussed in the farmhouse. And now forest house is nothing but farmhouse only. Like farmhouse matters are not allowed. Night, not at all allowed. Night, what happens, night, how people will be there. Night is such a thing. It really, the light is, that is the reason knowledge is, the symbol of knowledge is light. The symbol of ignorance is darkness. So this way, when there is light, tube lights, etc., the natural light. It is not, artificial intelligence, not artificial. It is natural light. So natural light, when it is there, particularly human beings I am talking, because those who are active in the night, they are known as nishacharas. So the night wanderers, they say, that is those who are afraid or those who are reluctant to move in the society very freely, they wander in the nights like, all thieves, dacoities, and murderers, all almost criminals, and also the dangerous animals, etc. So that is there. But whereas now, ordinary human beings, they are fresh, they prefer only during daytime. Of course, in night, how does it mean to say that night they are not at all available or not capable of deciding the factor? It is not like that. But daylight, some matters should be discussed in the daylight only. In case of emergency, of course, we see in the movies also a midnight, a person emergency cases, that is Rashtrapati Bhiksha or anything, or Chief Justice permission, etc. Of course, suddenly all entire system runs in the night also, like police's work and the judges also work. It is again, I told, exceptional condition. It is given here. But in general, in absence of a person and in the house, when nobody is there, inside a house at night time, in a forest, by fraud or in secret, if the transactions are held, if the matters are discussed and settled, they are to be considered as invalid. That is the point. And if at all somebody does it, I mean, in spite of all these prohibitions, if somebody, no, 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 it is an emergency, we have to do now itself, that means in the night and also in secret place or in a like a house, etc. The person who does it, who concludes such transaction or induces to do the transaction, he is punished with a Purva Sahasa Dandaha. The danda, Purva Sahasa Danda, Madhyama Sahasa Danda, Uttama Sahasa Danda, or that is, minimum, that is Purva. Minimum means actually Purva, the first fine they say. That is, almost like, 48 to 90 panas. I'll tell you later on. And that means almost like, below 100 fines. The beginning with the 40 above and within 100 panas. Panas is also the value, I'll tell you. And then Madhyama Sahasa Danda, that is almost 250 to 500. And the highest fine, they say, that is 500 panas to 1000 panas. That is Uttama Sahasa Danda. And Uttama Sahasa Danda is not that easy actually. Those days, highest money, that is highest amount, and 1000 panas, it was not that easy. Like, now we think it is not, can't be compared even with the dollars or anything. So that was there. So here, for such things, the lowest fine for violence. It should be imposed on the person, that is one who does it and also one who just, provokes to do it, instigates. And then also witnesses are very important in judicial matters. They come, as you know, they come voluntarily, they come by because lust of money, etc. So for them, half of this lowest fine, they also, the fines will be imposed on them also, but the fines will be half to that of these actually who commit such a thing. That means who decides the matter, witnesses. And then, of course, at times, simply without knowing anything, any this, rules and anything, innocent people are involved. Then what to do? Here, Kautilya's um, at what we say is consideration. We have to see Kautilya, really it is admiring, I have to say, because uh, he really reaches to the most remote corner of the society. He thinks about a very, 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 very a common man of where who is really now we say downtrodden, etc. Downtrodden, etc. We I can't say because Kautilya never allowed to suppress the people. Here no Dalita word is not there. Here we should understand a thing that Dalita, that means suppressed. It was not there in ancient India because actually those Varna system was there. In spite of the Varna system, Asrama system, all were receiving their due share. That is the reason I have discussed all these matters in administration of Arthashastra. If really you go to those lectures, you find how much really nobody is ignored, not even a small professional. That means who earns, because the professional arrangement was made. And now people say Upadhi Hami Pathaka and Sanchema Pathaka. Pathakas are newly coming. Why Pathakas are newly coming? Why these plans are newly coming means all these people were ignored. All these people were, suppressed. That is the reason Dalita women, Dalita tribals, etc. The words have come. Tribal word is there, Atavika, that is there. Kirata, all these terms are there, tribals are there, but tribals have their own freedom, their own rules, their own system of living, and they were enough because everything now these people exploit tribals when they live on the forest produce and then they take honey. If they come to sell to us, then we know, we are very intelligent people who reside in the cities. They exploit them. They are innocents, that they give very low value to those products, and these people 100 times increase the price and they sell. This was not there in ancient administration. If you look at any king you see, anyone you see, all that was they were given well rewards, awards for the good things done. That is the reason here he says, matters innocents are not to be punished. Innocents only, just simply, they are to be excused. That is the system of Kautilya. If at all they take trustworthy persons, this will not apply. Now, how many types of cases in general? I am talking about this is Dharmasthiya, deals with the civil procedure only, what there are. So, and also just Shrotrunam also, Kartukare, Shrotrunam means witnesses, that is okay. Then, actually, this is a um, Tirohita is explained in many ways. What Tirohita, how many types of Tirohita is there? That is also very important thing. So, here how many types of Tirohita means? Swami Tirohita, Desha Tirohita, Kala Tirohita, Kriya Tirohita, Dravya Tirohita. That means, Tirohita means in the absence, not only case dealing in the absence of the person, but the cases pertaining to the legal matters, how they are connected with the word of Tirohita means the transactions here done, absence we are talking, in the absence of the owner. Owner means, for example, yeah, this is, for example, uh, owner is there, owner of a shop is there, and somebody came for the loan or anything, uh, just, some amount, etc. Simply, I am telling owner. Just then he interested with a person to sit for some time or take care of for some days or anything. Then another person comes for financial help, etc. If this man, without informing his boss, you take any transaction, even in the, like, actually Swami means the owner. Husband and wife also, the rule is husband and wife both are okay, but there should be information. When in the absence we give something, that should be informed to the owner of the house, owner of the property. But letting, that means giving the money or letting the things go away without the notice of the Swami, that is also owner, that is offense. That is Tirohita, that is Swami Tirohita, absence of the owner. And then another Desha Tirohita means actually something transaction is done. I told that it comes under where somewhere it is done, where it is done in the forest or etc. Like this, it is classified into many. That means when a trial, that means a case is to be tried how it should be. That means all should be there. The judges, of course, but the Vadi, Prativadi, and their lawyers, and then witnesses, everything, even Pramana system also there, that comes at later on. Now, only just, primarily their nature, Kautilya, just, enlisted, we have to say. And then again he says, but what cases there is no offense means, he says, but it is. He says, Parokshena Adhikaranagrahanam Avaktavya Karau Atirohitaha Siddhyeyuhu. But if at all, uh, if it is okay, accepted, something they pledge and they take the money, if it is allowed in their, custom, local custom is to be observed, then okay. And some something is there, that is, which what are the like cases can be settled in the house, that he says. Particularly, of course, this is my our experience also. For example, some person is now, like, aged persons are there, some financial matters, and, like writing that, Vilunama Visela, that means actually the hereditary property to whom it is. So, writing his property on one's name, there he cannot go to court. A patient cannot go to court. And similarly, this Marana Mangmula, etc., when persons are not able to move, then the transactions can be done in the house also. Similarly, in case of like, emergency, then also if the particular persons belonging to the transaction are not able to come out, or it is an emergency, in such cases, all these rules are, I mean, they can be exempted. That means they can be done in the house or suddenly in the forest, means yes, there. Anywhere, during night also, they are not. That means everywhere, Kautilya uses a word. Here, not here, he has not used, but actually, Yatha Kalam, this is there in all ancient days also. Wherever there is a rule, there is an exception also. This is even in grammar also they mention. So when a general, what they say, general rule they say. General rule is for in general. In general, when the certain conditions are there, then it is called general rule. But the condition is not general, it is exceptional, then also the rules also will be really exceptional. This is a general law anywhere. For example, we should not eat outside. Yeah, of course. But when we go out of the state, out of the village, out of the country, there are so many relaxations, so many relaxations. Every Trikala Sandhya, etc., should be done. But when a person is traveling by air for 24 hours, etc., oh, he wants to be very traditional, etc., he can't do that. For example, this is some Shivaratri, so fasting, going to temple, but he is somewhere. What he does? A person, traditional person who never eats outside, if he is in the hospital, he has to take whatever is given by the hospital authorities. So this way, so many rules are there, exceptions are there. So for deliberately, actually, the law comes when the rules are overcome by the persons intentionally, deliberately, knowingly. See, if a mother, of course, in foreign countries, it is also considered as offense, etc. I heard. See, mothers, beating means, very slapping, we have to say, not beating. Beating word is, it indicates its intensity. That much, that strict punishment should not be done either by parents or by teachers or by anyone. Because even in this regard also, there are rules how to how to really treat the children. It is there, like, Lalayet Panchavarshani, Dashavarshani Tadayet, Prapte Shodashe Varshe, Putram Mitravadacharet. 5 years you should not, nowadays, emotional ladies beat the children even below 5 years also. It is not. Lalayet Panchavarshani. 5 years you should really, pamper the children. You should take care of the children. Dashavarshani. After 5 years, 10 years here and there, Tadayet means you should be strict towards them to make them disciplined. That's all. So control. That Tadayet means not literally beating, controlling. Okay. And 16 years, some people we see, cruel people, even the grown up children also, nowadays movies also, oh, they give slap. It is not correct. That is an offense. So when your son or daughter attains the age of 16, 15, Putram Mitravadacharet, you should advise him, should not beat him. It is an offense. So this is really these rules, this law is really communicated even through Subhashitas. Subhashitas tell the same, and by sayings also tell the same. Maxims we say, so good sayings. So like this law has got its own nature. So that is the reason the law, when there are rules imposed, but there are exceptions also. Everyone cannot be treated, it is called misusing the law. Therefore, to understand the law, whether it is ancient or modern, one should have a wider thinking, and also that is actually they should have wisdom. They should have broader, what we say, actually awareness should be there. The understanding of the society should be there. So this way, Kautilyan law really opens doors, not only windows, opens doors to a new world where a person can be loyal and should like at least knows what are rules and what are against the rules, how to behave in a society. All this will be there. So with this, today I really take leave and let us meet somewhere sometime.